serving all of San Diego. This is your Fox 5 News.
All right, from fat-blocking sodas to skin cancer-detecting smartphone apps, we are breaking down the most buzzworthy health stories this morning with Dr. Shilpi Agarwal. Good morning, doctor, and thank you for being here.
Thank you so much for having me.
This stuff is fascinating. I think anybody that's into health is going to kind of be like, on some of these stories. So let's get right to the first story. I know that some people may have heard about this. There's a new study out of UCLA that reveals how fat genes affect people's weight gain differently.
Yes, absolutely. It was a study that was actually recently published, and what they did was they looked at mice. They fed them a regular diet for 8 weeks, and then they gave them this very high-fat, high-calorie diet, and then they looked at which ones gained weight and which ones didn't. And that happens all the time, right? Like, you'll eat a cupcake, I'll eat a cupcake, and you don't gain weight, but I do. So they were looking at the difference between genes on these mice, and what they did find is that they found an area of 11 genes that in the mice were related to obesity. Why it's really important is because in humans, they were also finding that some of these match human genes.
Oh, so that explains why Chrissy can eat a donut and she looks the way she does, and I eat a donut, and then all of a sudden it's a different story.
Absolutely. So genetics does play a role. Unfortunately, in this study, what they didn't address was lifestyle. You know, choosing to actually eat the donut itself is a decision that people decide on, and exercise also plays a role.
Okay,
so,
but what does that mean for us then? Can they alter some genes so I can start eating donuts?
That is the hope, actually. Finding this data is just the baseline. You know, they're at the tip of the iceberg now. They're making a decision that genetics does play a role in obesity, but we're not quite there yet to find those targeted treatments that just solely use genetics.
That is fascinating. Okay, speaking of obesity, Pepsi has a new fat-blocking soda. What?
Yeah, I know. It sounds crazy. Pepsi recently marketed this soda in Japan, and what they did is they put in a fiber into it. It's a fiber called dextrin, and they're claiming that it's a fat-blocking weight loss soda. Unfortunately, the studies just aren't proving that to be true, well, in the sense that we don't have them for humans. They tested it out in rats, of all things. They showed a little bit of improvement after ingesting this dextrin. It's an insoluble fiber. And then they didn't do those studies in humans. So as much as I would love to believe that Pepsi is great for losing weight, we just don't have that data yet.
Yeah, all right. Let's move on to the next one. There's new skin cancer detecting smartphone apps.
Exactly.
What's this about?
People love apps. Unfortunately, these are really dangerous. Recently, out of the University of Pittsburgh, there was a study done on 4 different skin cancer apps. And what they showed is that 3 out of the 4 that they tested were misdiagnosing melanomas, which are some of the most dangerous skin cancers, 30% of the time. One of the apps actually sends your picture to a board-certified dermatologist.
That's what we're looking at here?
Exactly. And the other 3 just use an algorithm. Now, misdiagnosing a mole is extremely dangerous because sometimes it'll tell you, oh, you know, you could just wait and watch that mole, and it could be too late. So really, it's showing us that we can't rely on these skin cancer apps to detect the moles. You got to go to your doctors.
Okay. Can sorbet be a natural remedy for the flu? So many people fighting this right now, so eat sorbet.
As much as you and I would love to believe that ice cream is the cure for influenza these days,
you're going to say no.
It's absolutely not true. They're marketing this influenza sorbet. It's got a couple of good natural ingredients. Cayenne pepper, which opens up the nasal passages, helps you to breathe better. It does have bourbon, too, which is a cough suppressant.
Is that this thing right here?
This is one of the examples of it, but it also comes in an orange flavor.
Okay.
So, unfortunately, it's not true. It just soothes some of the symptoms.
Well, what are these things?
Now, what I do recommend as an alternative treatment is something called, it's hard to pronounce.
Yes.
Oscillococcinum.
I love this stuff. I use this stuff all the time.
Good, do you? Yeah, it's a homeopathic remedy, and what it does is it helps you if you do have some of the symptoms of the flu. It helps you to shorten those symptoms and protect you. Another one of my favorites is astragalus. You can get this at any health food store. It's got some natural antiviral and immune boosting properties. You're going to want to take about 250 to 500 milligrams a day, 3 times a day, and that's going to help you to fight off some of the flu symptoms.
You are awesome. Thank you for being here. This is really good stuff. So don't.
Thank you.
I gotta think. Agarwal. Thank you, Dr. Agarwal. I wanted to get.
This is great. Good for you.
Oh yeah, really good for you. If you want to get any information, by the way, on Dr. Agarwal, you can go to our website, fox5sandiego.com. Click the scene on tab. So, Paul, I'm trying to process all this stuff. So, like, no Pepsi, can't eat the donuts yet. What else? Is there anything else? And then natural remedies and no ice cream to cure the flu.
Exactly.
No ice cream to cure the flu?
No.
I'm disappointed.
Me too.
Thank you both.